again, YouTube. This is Dr. Kendo, and I'm back with Scribblenauts Unlimited for the Wii U. We got a great item request here. This has probably been the highest requested item, even more than Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog and all of that. So what are we doing editing this kid, which I have succeeded in decapitating and de-limbing? Well, it's a request by Stephen Cosby, Alexander Coburn, Marielle Elise Manio, I think, Manio? Crazed Angry Bird 347, Amado Alberto Robena Zeledon, and lastly, Brody Devlin, whom are all asking, can you make Pikachu? So yes, that's right, we are making Pikachu here. We're editing a kid and attaching just a head. If you type in head, that's what we're doing right here. And then these arms that we're using for Pikachu took me forever to find, but now I've got the stamp and I'm using it here. These arms come from a creature called Kappa, K-A-P-P-A, and it's like this little green goblin troll looking creature, but he's got perfect Pikachu arms. And so here for the eyes for Pikachu, we're just making dot. And so one thing people might be wondering is Dr. Kendo gonna rage this video? Since I've raged the past 2 videos, I'm not gonna rage because I just know that it comes with the territory of just having a YouTube channel that people are gonna troll or just not follow directions anymore. Back in my day, I hate to pull it back in my day, but yes, back in my day, people were basically required to follow directions and stuff. I know that I'm almost 27 years old, but I mean, seriously, it was different back then than it is now. What we've got here actually is kind of interesting because it was taken from the last video where we were using the scorpion stamps. Well, for Pikachu's nose, I've basically just taken a piece of scorpion tail because it has this like light white glimmer on it and everything. And so of course Pikachu is a Pika, or it's like a mouse-like creature. And so for the legs, I just figured if we did mouse, that would be fine. So our little kid here has mouse legs. But yes, as I was saying, I just know that people are automatically gonna troll if they find me because my videos have been getting a lot of success on YouTube lately, and with that success comes the trolls. So in the previous episodes, I've asked, hey, can you guys not request things? Well, that still stands. I'm not gonna rage over it, but the one thing that I am gonna say is trolls, go ahead and stay under the bridges because I don't want to hear it about this Pikachu. I know that there's people who think they can make it better, and this is how I make the item. I cannot stress that enough. Whenever I'm creating items, yes, I am taking requests from subscribers to do so, but I'm doing them according to my vision for the item and everything. So if you saw, we actually used the letter Z for the brown part of Pikachu's tail because Pikachu does have, at the base of his tail, he's got a little brown section or whatever. And so then we're just using shapes here. You can actually go into where you're getting stamps and stuff for your objects. You can find just lots of various shapes. It's kind of a, I guess, geometry library. And so that's where I've actually gotten the other parts of his tail. And so we want them to be connected to the correct part of Pikachu and not move with the arms or anything like that. So that's the only problem whenever you're dealing with stuff like this tail. You see right there, the top piece, it's moving with his other, oh gosh, and so is the Z back there. It's attached to his leg. So obviously what you want to try to do is you can see that I actually have the green grid pieces out right now, so you can actually see where the head, the body, the legs, the arms, and all that begins. So you want to make sure that and try to get the pieces out, segment it to where you want it to be. So right now I obviously want the tail parts to be attached to the body. So I'm trying to place them there and then use these arrows to the side to move it left, right, up, down, whatever. That's probably the best and most efficient way is to just start by putting it on the actual piece of whatever you want it to follow, as in I want it to follow the body. So whatever the body's movements are, that's where I put the stamp and then move it. Simple as that, right? And so of course Pikachu is, everybody kind of knows what he looks like, of course, even probably non-Pokemon fans, but it's great that people have requested this because Pikachu, Pokemon, one of my commentary series is for Pokemon Red. And so I've just used a sphere, and here's a half sphere. These are all, again, found in that library of shapes, the geometry library, I should call it. And so we're just, of course, kind of making a few alterations to his head, but I'm just using these spheres and half spheres to make the little red electric sacs on his cheeks. And so here it is, it's coming into fruition. It's actually looking really good. I'm really happy with how this is looking. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to run out of stamps, but I'm not positive. I think that we can at least get the ears going. And that's going to be a big challenge, of course, because there's not a lot of shapes that do really fit the ears and whatnot, because Pikachu has very tall, almost rabbit-like ears in the game, and they have a black stripe or black part basically at the top. And so I've just used seed right here. If you type in seed, that's what I'm using for the top of his ears right here to get that black. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So man, this is really looking good. I like this. And one thing though is that with editing the kid, you can only take off so many parts and whatnot, so he has all these clothes still. So what I'm gonna do is take that half sphere shape and make that his belly. I mean, Pikachu is kind of chubby as it is, right? You know? So if we can just take that half sphere right there and make it his stomach, then that'll be all good. And of course, since I have a few more stamp shapes, I'm gonna try and just get these brown stripes on his back. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. That's awesome. I mean, you're not gonna see the stripes a whole lot until he moves his arm, but it's there, so the trolls can't say, oh, but he has brown stripes on his back. And let me guess, everyone's gonna say, what about Pikachu's mouth? Well, I haven't really found an item that has gotten really kind of what I want for his mouth shape, so I'm actually gonna leave it how it is right here, and I think that's fine, because with Scribblenauts, it's not always just going to be like the perfect spitting image of the item, but I get damn close, so I know that people, the trolls, like to come out and feed on these videos and try and say that something could have been different or whatever, even though I ask, and I'm going to ask again right now, please, I'm asking nicely, please do not give feedback on how it could be different, because I know it could be different, and I don't think that it could be better. I mean, for my standards, this is what I like, and this is my vision. So we're just going in and we're editing. I made it the sound of a Pika. Again, Pikachu is a Pika. That's obviously where they get the name. In the Pokédex, I actually think it just says mouse Pokemon. And what's funny is that a Pika itself is more closely related to a hare. So it's actually, I believe, in the rabbit-esque species. And so for the projectile that it shoots, we want to make electricity. It's basically lightning. That would serve the same purpose or whatever. And it doesn't shoot it exactly like how Pikachu does, you know, in the game or in the cartoon or anything, but it'll shoot these little lightning bolts that kind of come out vertical instead of horizontal. It's funny. But here I'm doing can be worn on the head like a hat, because it actually looks really cool when you put Pikachu on your head and stuff. So if you go up to the Pikachu and do pick up, so pick up the item, it'll get on top of your head. So Maxwell can go around with Pikachu on top of his head. And one thing, this is an ode to an early Pokemon episode actually, is we're going to do a script where if it gains electricity, then Pikachu will gain the adjective strong. If you remember, Pikachu was up against the Onix, and Ash, I mean, how the hell could Pikachu, how could anything beat Onix? I mean, Onix is so huge and he's just, it's just huge, and like coughing tackled Onix in that episode, I think, or it was like a episode soon after that. Anyway, Pikachu beat Onix with the sprinkler system overhead and everything, but if you remember in that episode, Ash supercharged Pikachu, you know, by getting that electricity all up in him. And so I like how this looked. You know, we just had it here out on the map. The Pikachu moves a little bit fast, which Pikachu does move fast. It's a fast little mouse character and everything, but I'm just lowering the speed just a little bit down to 70, and that's fine. I'm also trying to see if we can get this electric sac on the right, the cheek on the right. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. Again, we're in a new level. We're in this gallery level, but I'm thinking that I'm going to take it to a different stage because I need a place with a little bit more room to showcase that there were actually other requests about Pikachu. So we're actually going to honor those as well in this episode. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Before I do that, look, when you do interact, it does the electricity. Wow! That's awesome. So it shocks you. But check out these other Pikachu requests altered from this Pikachu for the remainder of this video. And I love all of my subscribers and the supportive people. So I'll catch you on the next vid. Thanks for viewing. I just give insight without writing rule. To speak from experience, we want the future pleasant, and we're ripping on the past and glorifying up our present. So I step on other lives' twists and turns, and I made the cycles end with dignity and courage. Now I hope to God that everyone can learn something from what I say, and hopefully you flourish. Getting down to the matter, let's look at it more. My words ain't meant to be about waging war. They're meant to bring justice to all wrongdoers. They're like a spectacle so you can be the viewer. And
been down the road of twists and turns, always anxious to see what's within. We can look ahead to the point of no return, to the rest of our lives as the spectacle begins. I've been down the road of twists and turns, always anxious to see what's within. We can look ahead to the point of no return, to the rest of our lives as the spectacle begins.